Lovely viewers, what I'm about to share with you today has sent shockwaves through the Korean entertainment industry and left millions of fans around the world desperately searching for answers. The news that Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo have suddenly stopped living together has ignited a firestorm of speculation, heartbreak, and intense curiosity that shows no signs of diminishing. The rumors of their living arrangement first began circulating approximately 18 months ago, when fans noticed a series of peculiarities that seemed too consistent to be coincidental. Photographs taken by paparazzi and fans showed both celebrities entering and leaving the same luxury apartment complex in Seoul's exclusive Gangnam district at odd hours. At first, these sightings were dismissed as coincidence. After all, wealthy celebrities often live in the same prestigious buildings. But then the details started accumulating in ways that became harder to ignore. Delivery drivers on Korean online forums mentioned making regular deliveries to the same unit for both names. Security personnel, speaking anonymously of course, hinted at seeing them together in elevators and parking garages. Social media posts from both celebrities occasionally showed identical backgrounds, the same distinctive wallpaper, the same view from windows, the same artwork visible in the corners of their carefully curated photographs. For those of you lovely viewers who might be less familiar with how Korean celebrity culture operates, let me provide some crucial context. South Korea's entertainment industry exists within a complex web of expectations, contractual obligations, and public image management that differs significantly from Western celebrity culture. Dating bans are common, especially for younger idols and actors whose marketability depends partly on the fantasy of availability they provide to fans. Even established stars like Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo, who have transcended some of these restrictions through sheer star power and career longevity, still navigate a landscape where revealing romantic relationships can have serious professional consequences. Endorsement deals can be lost, fan bases can turn hostile, and careers can stall when celebrities make their private lives too public. This is why the apparent living arrangement between Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo was always conducted with such discretion. They never walked red carpets together as a couple, never posted couple photos on social media, never confirmed or denied the persistent rumors that surrounded them. Instead, they maintained what can only be described as plausible deniability, a state where the evidence was strong enough to convince those who wanted to believe but vague enough to deny to those who preferred different narratives. This carefully maintained ambiguity served multiple purposes, protecting their professional interests while allowing them whatever private happiness they might have shared away from public scrutiny. The first concrete signs that something had changed emerged about 6 weeks ago, though at the time, few people recognized them for what they were. Lee Min-ho was photographed moving boxes from the apartment complex that had become synonymous with the living arrangement rumors. The photos were grainy, taken from a distance by a persistent photographer with a telephoto lens, but the implications were clear enough to those paying attention. Within days, reports surfaced that Hye Kyo had been seen at a completely different property across the city, a penthouse in an area known for its privacy and security, where celebrities go when they want to truly disappear from public view. The timing of this separation, if we can call it that, is significant for multiple reasons that we need to unpack together, lovely viewers. Both actors are at crucial junctures in their careers. Lee Min-ho has been in discussions for several major projects, including a Hollywood crossover film that could represent his breakthrough into Western markets. Such opportunities come with their own pressures and expectations, including image considerations that might make a public or semi-public relationship inconvenient. Hye Kyo, meanwhile, has been focused on more serious artistic projects, working with acclaimed directors on films that showcase her dramatic range beyond the romantic comedies that initially made her famous. These diverging career paths might simply require different living situations, different levels of privacy, and different approaches to public image management. But lovely viewers, I know what you're thinking because I've read thousands of your comments over the years and I understand how you engage with these stories. You want to know if this is a breakup, if there was infidelity, if someone's heart got broken, if the fairy tale romance that you believed in has come crashing down. The honest answer is that we don't know. And that uncertainty is precisely what makes this situation so compelling and so agonizing for those emotionally invested in these celebrities. What we can do is examine the evidence, consider the possibilities, and try to understand what might drive two people to end a living arrangement that seemed, from the outside at least, to be working. One theory that has gained significant traction in fan communities centers on family pressure. Both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo come from families with traditional values, and in Korean culture, family opinion carries enormous weight in personal decisions. There have been unconfirmed reports, whispered rumors really, that Song Hye Kyo's family never fully approved of the relationship, possibly due to concerns about career compatibility, age considerations, or simply different visions for what her life should look like. Lee Min-ho's family, according to these same rumor mills, has been pushing for a more public relationship or even marriage, creating pressure that might have become unsustainable if Song Hye Kyo wasn't ready for such commitments. Another possibility that we need to consider seriously, lovely viewers, is that the living arrangement was always meant to be temporary. Perhaps it was a trial period, a way to see if domestic compatibility matched their romantic chemistry. Perhaps it was born of convenience during a particular phase when both were working on projects in Seoul and spending time together made logistical sense. Not every cohabitation is a step toward permanent commitment, and in the pressure cooker environment of Korean celebrity life, sometimes people need to make practical decisions that prioritize career over relationship, stability over romance, individual growth over coupled identity. The professional considerations cannot be overstated. Lee Min-ho's potential Hollywood project reportedly requires him to spend significant time in Los Angeles for language coaching, stunt training, and relationship building with American industry figures. Song Hye Kyo's upcoming film shoots in Europe for several months, requiring a base in Paris. These geographical realities alone could explain why maintaining a shared residence in Seoul no longer makes practical sense. Long-distance relationships are challenging for anyone, but for celebrities whose every move is documented and analyzed, the complications multiply exponentially. There's also the matter of what I call privacy fatigue, something that affects celebrities who have been in the public eye for as long as these two have. Lee Min-ho debuted over 15 years ago, Song Hye Kyo even earlier. They have spent their entire adult lives being watched, photographed, discussed, and judged. The shared apartment, despite their best efforts at discretion, had become an open secret, a subject of constant speculation and surveillance. Perhaps the decision to live separately represents a reclaiming of privacy, an attempt to establish boundaries that had been eroded by years of public attention. When your home becomes a site of public interest, when fans camp outside hoping for glimpses, when your domestic life becomes entertainment fodder, the sanctuary that a home should provide disappears. Lovely viewers, I want you to consider something that might not have occurred to you. What if this separation is actually healthy? What if two mature adults recognize that their relationship, whatever form it takes, functions better with some physical distance? Modern relationships don't always follow traditional scripts, and perhaps Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo are modeling a different kind of partnership, one where independence and togetherness coexist without one negating the other. In an industry where codependency and possessiveness are often romanticized, choosing individual space while maintaining emotional connection could represent a more evolved approach to love and partnership. The evidence from their recent public appearances adds layers to this mystery. At a recent industry event, both were present but maintained careful distance, acknowledging each other with polite nods but engaging in no extended conversation. Body language experts analyzing footage noted that neither seemed uncomfortable or hostile, just professionally cordial in a way that suggests established boundaries rather than fresh wounds. Song Hye Kyo has been photographed looking relaxed and happy, focused on her work, showing none of the signs of distress that typically accompany difficult breakups. Lee Min-ho similarly appears focused and driven, throwing himself into preparation for his upcoming projects with an intensity that suggests purposeful direction rather than emotional escape. Social media activity provides another set of clues, though interpreting these requires caution. Song Hye Kyo recently posted a photograph of a sunset with a caption about new beginnings and personal growth, which fans immediately interpreted as confirmation of a breakup. But lovely viewers, let's be honest about how we all use social media. Sometimes a sunset is just a sunset, and personal growth doesn't necessarily mean romantic endings. The tendency to read every post as coded messages about relationship status says more about our hunger for information than about the actual content being shared. That said, the absence of any interaction between their accounts, no likes, no comments, no shared content, does suggest a conscious decision to maintain separate digital spheres. Industry insiders, those shadowy figures who claim to have special knowledge, have offered conflicting accounts. Some insist the separation is purely logistical and temporary, that the relationship remains intact despite separate addresses. Others claim to have witnessed tensions at private gatherings, disagreements about future plans, fundamental incompatibilities becoming apparent after the initial romance faded. Still others suggest that there was never a serious relationship at all, that the whole living arrangement was exaggerated by fans desperate to believe in a love story between two beautiful celebrities. The proliferation of contradictory insider information should remind us, lovely viewers, to approach all such claims with healthy skepticism. What we can say with more certainty is that both actors are protecting something, whether that's a continuing relationship they want to keep private, the memory of something that has ended, or simply their right to personal lives that aren't constantly performed for public consumption. The fact that neither has issued statements, that their management companies have declined to comment, that they've allowed speculation to run wild rather than controlling the narrative, all suggests a deliberate choice to maintain ambiguity. In an industry where image control is paramount, this silence is itself a form of communication, a refusal to let their personal lives be dictated by public curiosity. The fan response to this situation has been predictably intense and beautifully diverse. Lovely viewers. Some fans express devastation, mourning the end of what they believed was a perfect relationship. Others express relief, particularly those who never approved of the pairing or who harbor their own parasocial attachments to one celebrity or the other. Many take a more philosophical approach, recognizing that celebrity relationships are real relationships between real people who deserve the same privacy and respect that we would want for our own personal lives. The healthiest fan responses acknowledge both the natural human curiosity about public figures and the ethical boundaries that should limit how far that curiosity intrudes into private matters. This situation also highlights the gendered dimensions of celebrity scrutiny that we need to acknowledge. Hye Kyo faces different pressures and different judgments than Lee Min-ho in how this situation is perceived and discussed. Female celebrities are often subjected to more intense speculation about their personal lives, more criticism for their choices, and more pressure to conform to particular relationship timelines. The questions asked about Hye Kyo, about whether she's getting too old for romance, whether she's too focused on career, whether she's difficult to live with, reveal persistent sexism in how we discuss celebrity women compared to celebrity men. Lee Min-ho's choices are more often framed as career-focused and admirably ambitious, while Hye Kyo faces implications that prioritizing career over relationship represents some kind of failure or loss. For international fans from diverse backgrounds, this story resonates differently based on their own cultural contexts around cohabitation, privacy, and relationship timelines. In some cultures, living together before marriage is completely normal and unremarkable. In others, it remains taboo or controversial. These varied perspectives create rich discussions in comment sections and fan forums, where people from around the world share how they understand and evaluate the choices these celebrities have made. The globalization of Korean entertainment means that these conversations happen across cultural boundaries, with fans learning from each other's different frameworks for understanding relationships and privacy. Lovely viewers, I also want to acknowledge those of you who are watching this and relating it to your own experiences. Maybe you've lived with someone and it didn't work out. Maybe you've had to make the difficult choice between a relationship and career opportunities. Maybe you've struggled with maintaining privacy in situations where everyone seemed to have an opinion about your personal life. The reason celebrity stories captivate us isn't just voyeurism, it's recognition. We see our own dilemmas played out on a larger stage, and we look to how others handle these challenges for insight into our own lives. If this situation speaks to something you're going through, know that you're not alone, and that the complexity you're feeling is valid and shared by millions of others navigating similar terrain. The economic realities of celebrity life also factor into living arrangements in ways that ordinary people might not immediately consider. Both Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo are extraordinarily wealthy, with property portfolios that include multiple residences in Korea and abroad. For people at this economic level, maintaining separate primary residences doesn't carry the same implications it might for those of us with more limited resources. They might maintain separate apartments while still spending significant time together, or they might use different properties for different purposes, work versus personal time, public versus private spaces. The assumption that stopping living together means ending a relationship reflects middle-class norms that don't necessarily apply to the ultra-wealthy. As we try to make sense of this situation, lovely viewers, we should also consider the possibility that we're asking the wrong questions entirely. Perhaps instead of focusing on whether they've broken up or are still together, we should be questioning why we feel entitled to know such intimate details about their lives in the first place. The parasocial relationships we form with celebrities create a sense of familiarity and connection that can make us forget that these are strangers who have never consented to having their personal lives dissected by millions of people. The discomfort we might feel at this suggestion, the resistance to accepting that maybe we shouldn't know everything, reveals how normalized celebrity surveillance has become in our culture. The mental health implications of this level of scrutiny affect not just the celebrities themselves but also the fans who invest emotional energy in these narratives. Psychologists who study parasocial relationships note that while these one-sided connections can provide comfort and entertainment, they can also create genuine distress when the imagined relationship between fan and celebrity is disrupted by reality. If you're feeling genuinely upset by this news, lovely viewers, that's a signal to check in with yourself about the role celebrity culture plays in your emotional life, and whether that role has become larger than is healthy. What happens next in this story remains to be seen. Perhaps Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo will eventually address the situation directly, providing clarity that ends speculation. Perhaps they'll continue maintaining silence, allowing their personal lives to remain private while they focus on their professional work. Perhaps evidence will emerge that definitively answers whether the living arrangement was romantic, practical, or something else entirely. Or perhaps this will simply fade into the vast archive of celebrity mysteries, replaced by new dramas and new speculations as the entertainment cycle continues its relentless progression. What I can tell you with certainty, lovely viewers, is that both of these talented actors will continue their careers regardless of their living arrangements. They've both demonstrated resilience, professionalism, and artistic growth throughout their time in the industry. Whatever personal challenges they face or choices they make, their work speaks for itself, and that work will endure beyond the gossip and speculation that currently surrounds them. Perhaps that's what we should be focusing on, celebrating their artistic contributions rather than obsessing over their private lives. Before we close, lovely viewers, I need to ask for your help in growing this community we're building together. If you found this analysis thoughtful and balanced, if you appreciated the depth we went into on this topic, please hit that subscribe button right now. Your subscription tells YouTube that this content matters and helps us reach more people who are looking for celebrity coverage that goes beyond surface-level gossip. We're trying to create something different here, a space where we can discuss celebrity culture critically and compassionately, acknowledging our curiosity while respecting boundaries. And lovely viewers, I desperately want to hear from you in the comments below. What do you think really happened between Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo? Do you believe they were romantically involved, or was this always a platonic living arrangement? How do you balance your interest in celebrity lives with respect for their privacy? Have you ever had to end a living arrangement with someone you cared about, and how did you navigate that? Your perspectives make this channel what it is, and reading your thoughtful comments is genuinely the best part of what I do. Share your theories, your experiences, your questions, and your insights. Let's create a conversation that's worthy of the complex human beings at the center of this story. Hit that like button if this video gave you a new perspective, and share it with friends who love Korean entertainment and thoughtful discussion. Turn on notifications so you'll know immediately when we post updates on this developing situation or new analysis of other celebrity stories. Together, we're building a community that engages with celebrity culture in ways that are both entertaining and emotionally intelligent, and I'm grateful to every single one of you lovely viewers who makes that possible. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember that behind every headline are real people living real lives that are far more complicated than any story can capture.